Power is still out from the ice storm. There was major trees down and limbs. This is the one I'm worried about. Oh, it's leaning. Oh, this is getting really bad. Uh-oh. Power wires are still up. So I had to race off to the city, and I grabbed this Champion. It's a 4550 max watts and then 3650 continuous, or well, 50% of that continuous. I'm basically in the dark and it's 4 in the morning. So I'm just unboxing at 4 in the morning. Inside the box, it looks like it even comes with oil. I was kind of concerned about that. If I even had 10W30. So there it is. I slid out of the back with a piece of wood. It's quite heavy, and then I just put it right onto the dolly, so that worked really well. Video on the fly here. Wheels, it looks like doesn't take much oil. It comes with oil. That's pretty handy. 5W30. Everything is wet in here, so okay, I'm not going to be able to lift that out of the box. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it. I don't even have a knife. Okay, it was really raining hard, so the ground's still wet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this out. Okay, so I got it out. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. I'm guessing that's the fuel valve. So it's got 30 amp, that's a twist lock. It's got a 30 amp RV plug. It's got two 110/20s, and they're 20s, that's nice. And individual breakers for each one, a 20 and a 30. And then it's got a gauge here. So, I mean, it looks pretty good. The generator itself it's long and skinny. My other generator, that's a 3000, it's stubby, but it's wider. So different generator head. Okay, so I have no time to really fool around. I'm just gonna get this thing going. All right, so you can hear the other generators in the distance. This whole driveway was blocked in. Oh no. I haven't hit this yet. I'm grateful. I can't even get out the driveway here. Driveway is blocked with the trees. I already started cutting. I already cleaned trees off the road. It looks with trees, and the whole front is complete disaster. I decided to throw the wheels on and the feet because it's rubber isolated. It only takes about 5 minutes to put these on, and the wheels is best to keep it off the ground. So oil, basically, it's just filled. Oh, it does have a dipper. There's a little bit of oil in there, I can see. So it comes with a funnel, which is really nice, and you need it too to get the oil in there. I'm assuming it would take the whole thing, but I haven't read the manual, so looks like you gotta fill it right up to the top, basically. Just enough to get it running. You wanna fill it till it actually starts coming out. The generator started on the second pole right out of the box. The choke, of course, is here. So it tells that's 120 volts, 60 hertz, running for 2 hours since I started it last, and then it's been total running for 36. So it's been running for 36 hours so far, but I stopped for refueling, and I also did the break-in oil. I actually did the break-in oil a little after the 5 hours. I ended up extending it quite a bit because it was an emergency. It was still all flooded out here, and I couldn't really get to it. Whole night I've been using this little chainsaw, and I've been cutting the branches off the road. Oh, it's just crazy. Uh-oh, guy's car. Ooh. I don't understand what happened here. Well, I cleared them from the roadside, took off the tops of these trees. Those big ones would have wiped out the wire if this doesn't melt. Be nice if this would just stop. They just keep coming down. The worst hit was the willow. That willow was so big, just wiped it right out. I put fresh oil in, checked it, and it was clean after I changed the oil. It works really well. I've got the sump pump going, I've got the fridge going, all the lights that I need, the wood stove fan, I'm recharging batteries and other things. So I alternate from the freezer to the fridge because I just don't have enough cords. But it easily runs everything. The most important was getting the freezer going and then getting the sump pump going because there's a lot of water coming in. There was a foot of water in the basement, so it was pretty bad. $450, it was $150 off, so in total about $508. That's CA. So I mean, pretty good for what you get. This is risky going through here because these things have been dropping like crazy all night. This whole thing could come down. These were young whispering aspens. I can hear the chainsaws right now. Oh, look at that one. Look at the lean on it. power went out, I went over and grabbed my old generator. I've had this one for quite a few years, and I actually got it for really cheap. I only paid like $300, and that was years ago. So I've used this a lot. I was off-grid in a camper, building a garage. I used this to till the garden. I put a lot of strain on this thing. So on the night of the ice storm, I grabbed the generator, and I had it running, and it was running fine. So the fridge, some pump, lights, and whatever else on was running fine, and then it just died. I came back in with a hot plate, and I thought I'll make some soup, and then it was dead. The lights were out. So I thought, well, maybe it's the receptacle again. So I pulled it apart, checked that. So this generator did die on me once years ago, but it was a very simple repair. So this wire came out from the push-in. They had it in the push-in, like the red one. So all I did was take it off and put it onto the screw, and I was back in business. So that was great. And unfortunately, that wasn't the problem. It wasn't the breaker, and I was getting about 4 volts here. So I assumed that it must be a failure of some sort. This generator uses a run capacitor because it's a brushless unit. I've already taken the screw out, but it uses a run capacitor. So I assumed that maybe the run capacitor was gone. It just comes off easily. It's already been discharged. I figured that it was the run capacitor, possibly. So at the time of the storm, I did not have another capacitor. And the other thing is that to order one, it would have taken 6 days. So it made no sense. So that's why I ran out and grabbed the Champion generator, because I couldn't fix this. I did end up ordering a capacitor. So I've got one here. It came the other day. The only thing is, it looks a little smaller, but it's the same. So it's 25 microfarads, which this one is. 450 volts, same thing. It's a CBB60. Unfortunately, it comes with wires. I'll just put 2 male blade plugs on here, and then I can just plug it right back into the generator. I'm hoping that this might solve the problem. If it's not that, capacitor was about $15. Definitely worth trying to see if I can get this going again, because I'd like to use this for the gardens. The only other problem it could be is in the generator itself. On the rotor, there are diodes and resistors right in there. So right down in there. And they could be bad. I couldn't take the risk of trying to fix this thing, so I raced off and grabbed another generator, and it worked out well. I put the new capacitor on, just put 2 blade connectors on, and I'm going to pop this in here. Get this. I took the pull start off because it was just, you had to pull it a million times. And okay, so I'm using a drill. I don't recommend this. This is for emergencies only. Let's see what happens. So you got to put it on the high speed. So you got to match the engine speed, of course, or you'd have a problem. But I'm going to, what I do is I don't put it fully in. I kind of just put it so that's on the edge. Just like that. Okay, so it's on choke right now. Yeah. Okay. That light is on. Oh, man. Oh. Just died. Okay, it's working. I don't think there's much fuel in it. Okay, so it was the capacitor. Wow. It is working. So if I had have had a capacitor that night, I would not have needed to go and buy a generator. So all that trouble, and it was just the capacitor. Doesn't even look that bad, but that was our issue. Junk. Yeah, well, I'm happy about that. Now I have 2 generators.